my life is being limited by my interactions with my dog. I can't do the things I want to do. I can't go the places I want to go. I don't have the confidence in what's happening. I'm so tired. It's Wednesday night. Would you stop? I don't want to do this right now. The pain of discipline is less than the pain of regret. And I thought about that. The pain of discipline is less than the pain of regret. Personally, like, you think about if I was more disciplined at work, maybe I could be, as I'm closing in on retirement, maybe I could not regret that I hadn't saved more. That I was thinking about it in those terms, but then I applied it to our dogs. And I thought about the pain of not training my dog is greater than the pain of training my dog. And we talked about this in the very first class. Many of you had the same comment. My life is being limited by my interactions with my dog. I can't do the things I want to do. I can't go the places I want to go. I don't have the confidence in what's happening. And so what I'm going to propose today is the pain of not taking this seriously is greater than the pain that you're going to experience for the 6 weeks of having to be the drill sergeant. And I talked about this in the kind of terms of being a drill sergeant, where we're teaching the dog to walk, eat, march, sleep, all of that over again, because the dog has created these neural pathways based on its experience over its lifespan, and some of them we don't like barking at the door or dragging us down the street. So we become the drill sergeant. We take the dog back to learning how to do all that over and over again. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of discipline. Many of you are like, I'm so tired. It's Wednesday night. Would you stop? I don't want to do this right now. And that's the hard part. That's the leadership part. Like, none of your bosses want to deal with the fire on Sunday afternoon. None of your bosses want to deal with the employee that had something fly out of a machine and break their bones. But that's what leaders do. They got to step up and do that. And that's who you are in this instance, is you're that leader. And so you got to be on all the time. I'll ask you one other question. Do you know what you would do if tonight, in the middle of the night, something dramatic happened to your dog? So I'll tell you what happened to me last week on Mother's Day. Sunday afternoon, I'm barbecuing steak. My wife is in the shower. The kids are all coming over for dinner. And I turn around and I notice my dog's eye is completely closed and it's wandering around in the corner. It had chased a rabbit into the bushes, and ultimately what we found was a traumatic eye injury, right? Rammed a branch into its eye. So I actually have steak on the grill. My wife is in the shower. It's 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. What do you do? And so I'm going to propose to you today that part of being the leader of the dog pack is also knowing how to prepare for an emergency. So like at my job, we have fire drills to prepare for emergencies. With our dogs, we want to have just a little card, and we have a vet here today. You'll probably attest to this too. So you have your trusted vet. So let's say Catherine's my trusted vet, and I take my dog to Catherine for all the day-to-day stuff. You also need to have your trusted emergency room. So like within this vicinity, there are 2 24-hour emergency rooms, one across the street, one across the freeway. Know where those are, know what their phone numbers are, know what you're going to do, because there are things and times when it's just going to happen. Your dog's bleeding, something's going on, and you don't want that moment to be the moment you're panicking and trying to figure out what to do. We all live in an area where there's a lot of wildlife. What do you do when your dog gets tagged by a skunk? You don't want to figure that out at 4 a.m. because you just let your dog out to go pee, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? Because I did that too. And you're on the internet trying to figure out, oh boy, I got to order shampoo, and I got to get what's a hydrogen peroxide and baking soda together, make a paste that will take the smell out. Those are all the things a leader has to think of in advance. As the owner of your household, you're thinking about paying insurance and paying for all that in advance. That's the same process with our dog. Interesting thing about dogs, as humans, we do this all the time. Like, we want people to know my back hurts, right? So we do that all the time. They do not. Dogs are incredibly stoic. When I told you the example of my dog poking itself in the eye, they're not out looking for you to, like, they're not trying to get sympathy. Think about it in their terms. They're out hunting all day. The one that's limping looks weak. They don't want to display weakness. They want to display confidence and being on top of the game all the time. So they don't necessarily show you those things. So when you do see them, that's when you really have to jump into action.